Hey guys, it's Isaac here at All-in-One, and I'm here again to show you how to clean your windows like you're professional and get them streak-free and clean of all that grime, dirt, dust, grease, whatever else is on your windows. So let's just get right into it. What we use here at All-in-One is the 2-rag method. We have 2 clean waffle weave towels here that help trap the dirt and the grime in it so that it's not just smearing everywhere as you wipe it on the window. One of these rags we're going to be using with our cleaner on it. The other one is just a dry rag simply for wiping off whatever is left afterwards. What I'm going to be using in this video is Sprayway glass cleaner. This is what we use for every kind of glass in here. Windshields, sunroofs, windows, everything. Another alternative that you can do is isopropyl alcohol in a rag. It's the same stuff. I just prefer to use Sprayway. So let's get right into the video. First, we are going to do the exterior driver's window of this car, and I'm going to show you 2 different methods. I prefer to spray the cleaner directly on my rag like so, and then go to wiping. Some people prefer to spray the cleaner on their window and then go with it. The reason I prefer to spray it onto my rag is so that way my cleaner does not get anywhere else on the rest of the car, whether that be on the dash of my interior or on my body panels on the exterior. So now that I got my cleaner on my rag and on my window, I'm gonna go ahead and use my wet rag. So this is very simple. I'm gonna wipe left to right, all the way down the window, and make sure that I do not miss any part of it. And we're using your fingers kind of in the corner of this rag right here to get any tight spots, like behind this mirror, all the way down along the rubber seal on the bottom. And then if you have a coupe like this car, you're going to want to open that door and get this top edge of it as well. So there we go, that's this whole window done. Now I'm going to take my dry rag and I'm going to go over everything that I just did. Just making sure, giving it a little bit more pressure than with the wet rag. And then what I'm gonna do, just for safe measure, flip the rag around and do it one more time. It's gonna feel a little bit slicker now because there's nothing wet on the glass. And so your rag should glide very easily. Now, we're gonna do the same thing to the interior of this window. All right, just like the outside of this car, I'm going to do the inside the same way. I'm gonna spray cleaner on my rag here. It doesn't need to foam up. I think just for the aesthetics, it looks nice. But we're gonna take it and we are going to do the same thing. Top to bottom, left to right. Making sure that we clean every square inch of this window. And now we are going to grab our dry rag and do the same thing. Start from the top and work our way across. It's very important to take this step slowly because if you take it out into the sun and catch just the right sunlight, you're gonna see all the streaks on your window and it's gonna look like you never cleaned it in the first place. So as you can see, I just got the base coat wiped off, and so now I'm gonna flip to my other side on my dry rag and just give it one last little wipe on here. Making sure to clean up everything that I left behind. And that is a side driver's window. Now what we're going to do, we're gonna do the windshield. The windshield is what a lot of people have problems with. Especially because a lot of windshields don't let you reach your arm all the way under here. There's not enough room, or it's really, really deep, and so it's just hard to get every windshield done perfectly. So here's a couple tips that I'm gonna do for mine. What we always do first is we always take our steering wheel, bring it all the way down and push it in so that we have as much room as possible over the top. See if it's lifted up. That's a couple inches of clearance that you do not have if it's all the way up. So if you want some extra room, make sure you do that. And it's gonna be the same process as before. If your rag starts to have a little bit of dirt on it, like this one, you can see that window was a little bit dirty. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip to another side on my wet rag. One more tip that I have for doing the windshield is that for the inside window, I'm going to do it vertically. I'm going to wipe my rags vertically. And for the outside of it, I am going to wipe it horizontally. Why? That's so that I can tell if there's streaks left over, I can see which side of the glass those streaks are on. So if I see the streaks going left to right, I'm gonna know it's streaks on the outside of the car. If I see them up and down, then it's gonna be on the inside. So that's just a little trick that you can use if you're having some trouble. But same as before, I'm gonna spray my rag on here with the sprayway. And I'm going to just move it up and down. And I'm making sure to cross over every line before I move on. So I'm always overlapping my two lines here. That's so that I can make sure that I get everything. Now I'm going to take my dry rag and do the same thing. I'm gonna dry it vertically. Now, like I said before, you're gonna have to give it a little bit more pressure drying it than you will have to with your wet rag when you're cleaning it, just to make sure that nothing is left behind. Now that I've got this side done, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other half of this windshield on the inside off the camera, and then I'll get back to you guys after I'm done with that, and I'll be doing the outside of the windshield. All right, first things first, with doing the outside window, we always want to raise up our windshield wipers here, just so that we can get the whole coverage of the windshield. So I'm gonna go ahead and raise both of these. And then same process as before. I'm going to spray cleaner on my rag, get it all well saturated. And I am going to do these, like I said earlier, horizontally. So I'm going to take it all the way up to that midpoint, all the way to the corners, and just have my hand flat on here, making sure to apply even pressure throughout the whole rag. Now that is done, you can see how much dirt I'm actually picking up on the outside of this windshield. So this one's kind of dirty. So before I do the other side, I'll need to flip that around. But for now, I'm gonna take my dry rag now, and I am going to wipe this horizontally again. I'm gonna clean up the edges a little bit. I'm gonna flip my dry rag around, make sure I get a perfectly dry side. That's the biggest part of leaving no streaks on your car, is from having a completely dry rag. So if your towel or your rag is starting to get a little wet, just get a new one. It's gonna make your life a lot easier in the long run. One thing also to keep in mind when doing your windows is to make sure that it is not too hot. Your glass, it can get very, very hot, and then spraying any cleaner on it or even wiping cleaner on it with your rag, it's gonna make the cleaner dry up extremely fast. And so it's gonna leave behind residue or a film, some streaks, just caused by the temperature. So we're in here, we're in a closed environment, we got heater, we got AC, so we're able to control the temperature in here. Not everybody has that. So just make sure at least you go out on an overcast day to wipe your windows so that you just don't have that crazy heat hitting you and messing up your window cleaning. So now we are going to, like I said over there, we're going to flip this rag to a clean side. Here we go. And do the exact same process on this last side of the windshield. Once again, going horizontally. A lot of windshields, they actually have a marker for the halfway point in your windshield. That's this little thingy right there. So we are going to follow that point and wipe all the way down. Once again, a pretty dirty rag. That's what we like to see. That means the cleaner is working. And for the last time, we're gonna take our dry rag here, wipe it horizontally across this window, and get rid of all those wet marks on here. You can kind of go crazy with your drying rag. It doesn't have to be as uniform as the wet one does, just because you're wiping off everything excess. And now for the last time, I'm gonna flip my rag over to a even drier side and wipe it down for the last time. As you can see, cleaning your windows is not as hard as it seems. All you need are 2 rags, spray away glass cleaner, or isopropyl alcohol in this video here. As always, we appreciate the love and support. If you would, drop a comment and subscribe to our channel, and be on the lookout for more tips and tricks videos. We're always putting them out, trying to help the everyday person with our professional detailing knowledge. With that being said, we'll see you in the next one.